Hey guys, welcome back to the stables. We're at Mclaren, Philadelphia, and we're going to be reviewing the 2020 Mclaren GT today. Now, Mclaren Philadelphia, thanks so much for having us out. We're always excited to come see you guys. Special shout out to Brad. Thank you for having us. You might not have known this about the Mclaren Philadelphia location. They are the only F1 service center in North America, which is really cool. So today, we're not reviewing an F1. We're going to be reviewing this, the Mclaren GT. So if you're new to the channel, if you're new to cars, this is the front of a car. In particular, like we're here for the Mclaren GT. So it's a lot more refined than its brother car, the 720S. You're not getting the super sporty headlights with the extra intake, with the aggressive look. It's a lot smoother. It's a lot more of a grand touring car. It takes away a lot of that sporty look that the 720 does, or does it? This is chicane gray, and probably one of my favorite McLaren paint colors. It's not MSO, it comes standard with some of the vehicles, so just an excellent, just an excellent one to spec. Now, behind me, you can see this giant air vent. So as refined as this is, you still need that air to get back to this 4-liter twin turbo engine, and that's where it's all coming through this vent and cooling that engine. Well, now we're at the back. So something that I actually love about this car, this is spec'd with the black accents. You see a lot of that in the front, which we'll touch on, but you get a lot of it at the back as well. We got the black exhaust pipes coming out the back, and something that I love that McLaren does, you have this venting. It almost looks like a mesh, but it's allowing that twin turbo engine that gets very hot to cool. Another thing that's different than the 720S, in which this car is based, is you got the exhaust exited differently. So I would say all in all, based off of 720S, a lot of the differences that you're going to see is exactly what this rear looks like. So if you take a look at the rear of this car, the tail lights, they're pretty cool. So you have these two light bars in the back. Now you don't have a ton of light area, so when you're actually turning and you're hitting your turn signal, the turn signal's on the side. The turn signals on the back of the car that you would typically see a reflector actually blink, so you have a little bit extra of an indicator when you're turning. So one of my favorite parts of the car, I love black wheels. So you have the black wheels. It looks great with official calipers, and we'll show you inside how that stitching actually matches these. It's running Pirelli P0 tires. That's 225s in the front and 295s in the back. Gives a great soft ride, a lot softer, with the tuned suspension to be a lot softer as well than the 720. Now, this piece does take some really strong design cues from the 720. So one of which that I love is the smoothness. Now that might be subjective, I know, but you're gonna get a lot of the air that passes over the vehicle and just gets sucked, not only back in these vents, but runs over this back fender, right into this back fence, so you get a lot of cooling to that twin turbo engine. Now, my problem in life is I'm just too strong. So these soft closed doors are actually a godsend. Just get it close. Well, let's try that again. Just get it close. And I just pretty much closed it. So if you're looking to buy a Honda CR-V, a Toyota Camry, don't. This has a lot more storage. Actually, not kidding about that. And you might not be in the market for a McLaren, but you can see the rear boot lid actually opens in full. So this is one of the largest trunk lids I've seen. But you have quite a bit of storage. Now, McLaren tells you can fit comfortably golf clubs, and I believe it. As you may have guessed, I'm Italian, so every Italian knows a good trunk joke, and you can fit a body in this one. Welcome inside, and I gotta say, this is a nice place to be. Now, I've been in a few GTs that have the whole cockpit spec'd in leather, and it is a completely different feel than the Alcantara. Now, this does have some leather inserts. It does have a ton of Alcantara. It still makes it feel really sporty in here, despite the fact that this is supposed to be McLaren's refined car. You can really see how they tied in the Fistral blue stitching and accents. I mean, it looks absolutely phenomenal. And something really cool that they did, now that you can see the Alcantara really up close, is this handle. They actually have leather on the front and the Alcantara, so it's kind of like a two-tone, two-feel handle. And lastly, the Bauer & Wilkins stereo sounds phenomenal in these cars. This is a very McLaren steering wheel, so this is
one that's spec'd with a lot of carbon fiber, including the paddles, which looks incredible. And the paddles on McLarens, I gotta say, is something that's one of my favorite feature out of all the great features they have in the vehicles. They actually run off a rocker system. So when you're accelerating, you know, if you're hitting the right panel or that plus panel, it's shifting you up a gear, and opposite on the left, it's shifting you down. But with the rocker panels, they actually, you can push away and pull towards you, and you can actually shift with one hand because of it. You are in a GT, but there is track settings. So if you look at these very McLaren dials, you'll see that there is the comfort, there is the sport, and there's the track setting for both the handling and the powertrain as well. So you have your manual button, you can just press it, that'll engage your paddle shifters. Now with McLarens, you have to tell them that you want to put these in. So you have to press active first before it actually activates the gauge cluster. So as any McLaren, it does have launch control. That is very fun, especially when you have a 3.1 second 0 to 60 like you do in this beast. You do have a stop-start feature, like any other car that you're trying to be efficient and economical and all that fun stuff in today's world, and that's pretty cool. And just like any other McLaren, you got these really cool switches for drive, neutral, and reverse. There's no stall, there's no weird buttons. It's these cool, very race-inspired switches, which is really cool. Now, the GT, this is more focused on comfort, driving comfort, long distances. It has 3 cup holders, and that's a crazy thing, especially for a car that has 620 horsepower. So you have a lot of storage as well, something that's a lot different with the interior of this car versus, for instance, the 720 and other sport models, is you have so you can actually just pop that open. Now, when you have the doors open, you actually can't open that. So if you have stuff in there, McLaren doesn't want it to fall out. It's probably neither do you. So that's a really cool feature. You also have a center console. Now, truth be told, there's not a ton of space in there, but there is a USB jack, so you can make sure to charge your car, or you can make sure to charge your phone. Now, the interior spec with the Alcantara and the leather and the fishtail blue stitching, I gotta say, is one of my favorites, especially with all the carbon fiber. McLaren of Philadelphia, they really know how to spec a car. If you guys are looking for McLaren, Porsche, Maserati, make sure to let these guys know. Let us know by emailing us, emailing them. We'll put their information in the bio below. But this is the GT.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification icon to make sure you're getting notified of all new episodes. Drop us a comment in the comments below to let us know what cars you want us to review. And thank you for tuning in.